What's up, guys? So bear with me. I only had a couple of links, as many of you probably did, but I, I did what I could. So whatever. Today we're going to talk about IRS-1. Now you're probably wondering, it sounds like a really secret service type IRS thing, but what are they? Aren't they the people that take away your home and your TV and your money because you didn't pay your taxes? No, that's not what they are. No, what they actually are insulin receptor substrate 1. Mouthful. Okay, so let's look at the name. It has insulin. What does that remind you of? Diabetes. And what does that remind you of? America. Why America? Because land of the free, home of the diabetes. Now, how long have I been waiting to say that joke? A long time. But I've said it so many times now, it has lost meaning to me. I hope you find it funny. Because at this point, I don't. Anyhow, moving. Okay, so form. How does it form? How does it react? How does it do whatever it does in Belgium? What it's supposed to do? Okay, so I'm just going to try not to use big words, but I'm probably going to have to use big words. I'm so sorry about that. But let's start talking about it right away because I don't have much time. Okay, so there's proteins floating around your bloodstream, IRS proteins, and they're talking to their other IRS proteins. I don't know what they're talking about. Probably money, taxes, taking away your money, whatever they're talking about. And then we have this enzyme who's, going through some changes right now. He's feeling different, confused about his body, and he doesn't know if it's good. It's actually called tyrosine phosphorylation. Ha! You thought it was meant puberty. No. Well, kind of. Anywho, let's move on. Okay, tyrosine phosphorylation. What is this sexy word that's rolling off my tongue? You already know it, but I'm going to assume that you don't know it. Basically, just a phosphate binding with enzyme to turn it on. So it's kind of like puberty. It's being turned on. Anyway, this is a ligand binding, whatever, however you say it. I don't care. Okay, so then this IRS protein starts to see this enzyme. Like, oh man, she's pretty cute. So he goes over and he's like, hey baby, you wanna bind? So then they bind. They make contact, sweet contact. I don't know, whatever cells like do. Then he wants to tell people, so he calls up his boy P13K and MAP kinase. Calls him up, tells him all about what went down last night, or however they do it in cell time. Tells them all about it. Then his friends start telling his other friends. They start telling their friends, and it's this huge chain. I'm telling you this because IRS-1 is an activating enzyme, meaning it activates other proteins, and keeps on going. But I actually found on this different website, one of the 3 that I had, a short little other kind of visualization. So if this one doesn't work for you, which I don't know how it wouldn't, there is another visualization of, let's see, what's the word? It's like a dock. It's got boats. What is this? Dock, boats. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, a pier. Yes, it's a pier. So it's kind of like a pier where things come in, they dock. It's a docking zone, and they get activated, then they ship out. I guess they're getting fuel or something. I don't know. They're shipping out, so they're getting activated. This IRS-1 is the main site for all these different kinds of proteins to get activated and go out. So it's very big, and not just these 2 different kinds, tons of different kinds. Well, not tons, like 30 plus. So let's get on to what it actually does. Yes, finally. So it's metabolic and mitogenic. What does this mean? Metabolic, it sounds like metabolism. Exactly. So it breaks stuff down to the ground. So mitogenic, it's like, kind of seems like the brother of metabolic, but not as well known because its older brother is a pro wrestler that just, breaks people down to the ground. And, it's just the younger brother that's just been forgotten in the shadow of its older brother, but it grows things. It plays an important part. People don't recognize him. He grows things. Like plants. He's like the gardener that you never really appreciate. But he makes amazing tomatoes. And then I have pasta with them because I'm an amazing cook. I mean, I need to stop talking about these fake tomatoes that I may or may not have had. May not have had. Well, no, I didn't have them. Yeah, anywho. We're going to move on to mice now. But before that, quick shout out to Anna for these drawings. If you couldn't tell, because, her hands are white, mine are brown. So if you thought that was just me drawing, no. And She's been doing so much work. I appreciate it so much, and working so late. Yeah, appreciate it a lot. Okay, so let's move on to mice. So mice that are deficient in IRS-1, they are found to be mildly diabetic. Yes, mildly diabetic. I don't know how they range that, but they're mildly diabetic. They're not too low, not too high. They're mild and just right. Yes, Goldilocks reference. Yeah, what of it? Get at me. Next, those deficient mice also have growth impairments. What does that mean? What do you think it means? They're small. Okay, let's move on to IRS-1 knockout mice. But what are IRS knockout mice? Hold on, I'm getting to it. Okay, knockout mice. What are knockout mice? They are mice that are specifically bred with one gene knocked out. How do they do that? I don't know. Playing darts with a gene pool, I don't know. But IRS knockout mice, they are mice with IRS knocked out of them. So yeah, pretty simple. Now, the mice with no IRS in them, they're 52% smaller than the normal mice. Yeah, doesn't sound like much because it's just numbers, 50%. But how about we just put into perspective really quick. Now, imagine yourself at your size. Now, imagine yourself 50% smaller. And for you guys out there, imagine yourself with half your manhood gone. That's kind of sucks, right? Yeah. Okay, so get this. Even IRS-1 gives you cancer. Yes, cancer. How does it give you cancer? Well, I wasn't given enough information about it. There was only so much, but I'm going to infer this much. So it's overproducing IRS-1 by either the connections are staying for too long of a time with enzyme, or the IRS-1 is, just binding everywhere to every enzyme that it can find that's, turned on. And this overproduction causes cancer. Which kind of cancer? Well, it causes breast cancer. Not the worst kind of cancer, but I feel like any kind of cancer is bad kind of cancer. Yeah. Anyway, in humans, it has been recorded that a deficiency of IRS-1, pretty makes you genetically fat. Those are the only people that can say they're genetically fat. Those people, not big boned or anything, genetically fat because of IRS-1 deficiency only. But long-term effects affects the eyes, the kidneys, the neurons, and last but not least, the blood vessels. Yes. Now, why does this happen? Well, I'm not sure, but maybe it's because the accumulation of fat. Accumulation of fat does take away myelin sheath, breaks it down, so maybe it hurts other things just as well. I don't know. Maybe you just need to get a treadmill and start running or exercising. Going to the gym. Just go to the gym. Anywho, I hope you liked our presentation. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Or give us a thumbs up. No, I don't mean, click like. I mean, give me a literal thumbs up. Put your hand in the air and give me a thumbs up. Please. I really seek approval, and I'm desperate.
What are we really made of? Dig deep inside the atom, when you'll find tiny particles held together by invisible forces. Everything is made up of tiny packets of energy, born in cosmic furnaces.
The atoms that we're made of have negatively charged electrons whirling around a big, bulky nucleus.
The quantum theory offers a very different explanation.